as I promised, my beloved brother and friend is in the studio, and I'm just going to give a big shout. So, Wakash, what you saying, bro?
I'm good. How are you, bro?
I can hear you loud and clear, bro. The man is in the studio. The one who stings like a butterfly, but you know, he flies like a like an eagle. This is not the Muhammad Ali, okay? All right. Bro, it's good to have you in the studio with me this morning, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be here. How you doing, man? Because I know you and I worked the night, the graveyard shift last night.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. Me and you, we pulling double shifts, bro.
I'm telling you, my brother. I'm telling you, man. It's all good, because, I mean, last night was cold, Bridget.
Really cold.
I'm telling you, man. How's the weather now outside since you've come back in?
Yeah, it's the same, bro. The same.
I hear that, my brother. I hear that. So, Regin, what you been doing with yourself, man? Talk to me.
Bro, I've just been keeping busy, you know, doing my poetry, you know. Been looking at other poets, seeing how they perform, seeing how I can exceed my old poetry, learning new techniques.
Same.
And just keeping busy with family and friends.
I hear you, man. I hear you. You're looking well as well, although you dress up like an Eskimo, but, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, this man dressed up like an Eskimo. All right, the black version. All right. Okay. So you've been busy. You've been, like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously you're working and,
yeah,
you know what I mean? And obviously you're studying as well, innit?
Yeah. I'm studying ophthalmic dispensing.
Okay.
Yeah, I commute to Bradford almost every day during the weekdays.
Okay. So just tell the people what you mean by
ophthalmic dispensing.
Right.
Basically, it's when you go to the opticians, I won't be the one doing the eye tests. I'll be the one who'll be helping you choose your glasses, God willing.
Right. I hear
when
you.
I pass.
I hear
God
you.
willing.
God willing. I like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, you don't know, so my free pair of glasses is on at the table, ready for when I are ready to go for the test.
Guaranteed.
But, amen, my brother. But he has to pass the test first. So, ladies and gentlemen, pray for him, so he can give me your free glasses. Amen. Okay, without further ado, right, I'm gonna go for the advert, right? How you can catch us back right at this time. Yes, indeed. What a wonderful track, Restored, and Labu Sagobela. All right, Lion of Judah, boy, you know, them near men, man, they stretch your tongues, you know, my brethren. They stretch you. You know, they stretch you. Anyway, welcome back once again. You're tuning into the Sunday morning open heart surgery with your host, Dr. H, and my beloved brother and friend, the Honorable, you know what I mean, Sir. Oh, should I call you Sir? Yeah?
You can call me what you want, bro.
No. I'm going to give you the proper respect, all right? So Mr. Halley is in the house, all right? And thank you once again for joining me. So I think you say you have some shout-outs to give, yeah?
Yeah. First and foremost, to all the listeners who are listening, thank you. And also to Cameron and Paul listening on day shift at Man United, the finest security team assembled.
Yeah, them two need arresting, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely. We know their location as well.
Yeah. So big up all the Manchester United security staff, both day and night. And I'm sure you're tuning in. Big respect indeed, yes.
Big respect.
And who else you got to shout out?
My friend Berry, our good brother, mine and Dr. H's, he's been in hospital for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And a very special shout out to him as he's come home in the last couple of days.
Yeah, good to hear that.
He's recuperating and God willing, he'll be on your show soon as well.
Yes, indeed. Because I mean, when you told me about, you know what I mean, what was happening to the brother, man, I was like, nah, you know what I mean. But thank God, you know what I mean, he's pulled through and he's recovering, and hopefully, one of the days, God permitting, that we can come together, sit down, and he can actually share his experience with me.
Definitely.
And I'm sure that I'm going to learn something as well, as he, shares his experience and what he really suffered with, and how do you know what I mean, how dreadful that kind of condition can be, you know what I mean?
Very difficult as well, and very difficult. A person's soul, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. But yeah, we'll definitely have that on track, and obviously if I get permission from the management of the radio station, he will be here live and direct, no problem. Okay, so Waka, so you know, the last time you were with me, you graced our presence here at Legacy. It was a few months back, innit?
Yeah, a few months ago. Legacy FM, big up.
Every time. All right, good. So, all right, then let's get that out of the way. All right. But no, see, on a serious note, I know you take your poetry very, very seriously, yeah? And obviously from time to time you've actually given me the grace to hear the lyrics, or to see the lyrics, or to see you write them on paper. And I'm assuming you've been working very hard on some of the other materials. Yeah,
it's been very difficult. The last few months, I've been stretching myself, as you were saying before, Dr. H, and I've been stretching my mind to expand, broaden my horizons, to evolve, because I feel as a poet, or even as a person, dear listeners, is that you evolve. How you were 5 years ago, you won't be now.
That's true. That's spot on. That is spot on. So you're saying that you've evolved.
Yeah.
All right. We're not saying that you're going back to the primordial stage. All right.
No.
The brother is evolving.
Yes.
All right. Yes. And I'm just being funny. But yeah, you're getting to a point now where you're putting your thoughts on paper. And you're saying to yourself, yes, I can feel this.
Yeah.
Okay. So have you come up with any kind of material from the talks?
This is most likely going to be my last interview for this year.
Okay.
And obviously with the studying, I'm going to have to put my head down. So I've got a treat for you, dear listeners, and that is I've got 3 poems prepared.
Okay.
And this one that I have currently in front of me is actually 7 years old.
Wow.
And I went on a hiatus from poetry for a couple of years, but this was when I transitioned from rapping to poetry.
Okay.
This was one of the final gems, I feel. This is obviously up to yourself, Dr. H, on the Open Heart Surgery Show, and you as well, dear listeners, to let me know if you feel this poem. It's never been performed before, and it's an exclusive.
Okay, go ahead, my brother.
Some days I am hit by inspiration, sentences forming one after the other. I can't tell if it's a sign or an abomination, continuously forming until I discover. My mind is under unique infiltration, insight or hindsight in black and white colour. Refining my ultimate assimilation, where I'm from, it is a multiculture, transcending a whole generation. Why does everybody I know have to suffer? I try to be a G, that's not me, because my reality hurts. Everybody has their own fantasy of reality. Does it really work? No one story defines a man. Gone is my inferiority complex. I had to change my ways because my hell didn't wait for my death. A pawn is the weakest piece on the chessboard. When it reaches the other end, it becomes a double-edged sword. Everybody and everything has to run its course and then return to their Lord.
Wow, that is awesome. That's awesome. I need to ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You've sat down and you've penned that, right? And it didn't just come overnight, did it?
No. It was because this was 7 years ago I made it. I was going through a lot of life experiences at the time. And to sit down and write this, I was literally pouring my heart out, in the sense that when I said before, Dr. H, where 5 years ago I was a completely different person to who I am today.
Yeah. So you've sat down and it's amazing because and do you know what I mean? What you've said, I think every conscious, honest, believing individual who are mature enough to a certain level will agree with you that until you go through certain things, you can't see certain things.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Until you actually feel the fire.
Yeah.
You can't tell somebody how hot the fire is.
No.
You get what I'm saying? Until you buy a pair of shoes and you worn the shoes out to the point where your foot bottom is actually touching the raw surface of the floor, you know you need a pair of shoes in it. And just to say that that's so spot on what you're saying, because you couldn't just sit down and write that just like that without going through something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm glad you said that, because for me personally, I can identify with you because, you know, I'm not the person I am today because I just grew up overnight.
Yeah.
You're not the person you are today because you grew up overnight. There's a process of development, both mental, emotional, psychological, you know the game.
Yeah.
Physical and spiritual, you know what I mean? And how you pen that, man, it's amazing. Can you just say it again for the people and let them hear it, what you say?
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
So this poem I actually titled as The Gift and the Curse.
Okay.
Some days I am hit by inspiration, sentences forming one after the other. I can't tell if it's a sign or an abomination, continuously forming until I discover. My mind is under unique infiltration, insight or hindsight in black and white colour, refining my ultimate assimilation. Where I'm from, it is a multiculture, transcending a whole generation. Why does everybody I know have to suffer? I try to be a G, that's not me, because my reality hurts. Everybody has their own fantasy of reality. Does it really work? No one story defines a man. Gone is my inferiority complex. I had to change my ways because my hell didn't wait for my death. A pawn is the weakest piece on the chessboard. When it reaches the other end, it becomes a double-edged sword. Everybody and everything has to run its course and then return to their Lord.
Man, this is a brilliant tune, right? And brilliant as a tune. Actually, right, that could be actually turned into a song, actually.
Yeah.
Right, but it's an awesome revelation on what you put on paper and what you've just read. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are saying, yeah, that's heavy, because they can identify with that. Another point you made, right, which is quite poignant, when you said, I want to be a G, but that's not me.
Yeah.
Now, can you kind of like break that down so that some of the listeners who are not savvy in that area will understand what you say there, please?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, growing up, you know, as a ethnic minority, or, you know, just as a child, being a teenager, going into young adulthood, there's peer pressure, and whether we like to admit it or not, that peer pressure can dictate how a person is molded at the time. And I feel especially amongst us as well, is that you have to, unfortunately, be out on the streets. You have to get that respect. There's that certain elements, you know, certain variables which don't work in our favours. So men trying to be, or boys trying to become men, turn to other alternatives and believe this is the way to manhood. And I think it's not the right way, or it could be the wrong or right way, but depending, if you're, I don't know, I'd give an example. If you're 30 and you're still saying you run the streets and yada, 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 you know, you're the big don, I feel like I can't relate to that person because I would hope by the age of 30, a brother would have grown up and be like, you know what, that was in my youth, this is now, you know, I need to get married, or, you know, I've got a girlfriend, baby on the way, I need to make some legitimate money, I need to be around when my child grows up, type of thing.
I hear you. And that's a brilliant point, all right? With that said, right, we're going to play a track, right, which is one of my favorite tracks from Marvin Sapp. And the track is entitled My Testimony, and I want you to listen to this, right? And I'm sure that as we play, that you can identify with what he's saying as much as I can, all right? My Testimony by Marvin Sapp. Boy, time is just running away when you're having fun, innit?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. I like that. Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, so Wakash, we're back in the studio, live and direct, here at Legacy, and you recited so eloquently one of your poems that you wrote 7 years ago. So you've got an up-to-date one now, a modern one that you'd like to share. So let's hear it.
Definitely. Before I do, big shout out to the Words Alone Collective, to family and friends, to you dear listeners, to Big Scotty and Kush, good soldiers, and also Scott, who's at Miss G right now on the day shift.
Oh, okay.
My chest tightens, anticipation builds, licking my lips, I see you nicely chilled. What a friend you have been to me. Tonight is the night to watch and see. Having fun, lots of laughter, being merry. I wake up tomorrow with no memory. I wake up with you as my remedy. Tonight we go out again. With you I always wanted to be more than friends. Maybe I'll pluck up the courage. You consume me, I consume you. I always think about you. I wonder, do you feel the same way too? You brighten my day, I wouldn't have you any other way. I need you, I wonder what you will say.
Okay, that's like going in this total opposite direction, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a good surprise, actually. So I'm assuming, all right, as a brother to a brother right now, I'm assuming you're talking about a beloved princess.
Yeah, well, that's one way of looking at it.
All right. Yeah, give me the other way.
The dual meaning behind it is the start of going down the spiral of alcoholism. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, so in one sense it's about a princess.
I hear you.
And then in the other it's about how a person becomes dependent on alcohol. It's just the first steps to it.
That's deep. I'm glad I asked you the question, and I'm thankful even so more that you clarified that, because as you rightfully say, I was looking at it from a lover's point of view.
Yeah.
All right. Once your daughter and one reason up with and drop some poet. You know, back in the day.
Yeah.
And even today we just drop some words, you get me? Even though some of the words are not drop good, you know, but we have to pick them up and brush them off and drop them again, you get me? But on a serious note, though, that's deep, and you do make it clear that when one is overcome by the demons of alcohol, or the oppression of alcohol, one tends to find comfort, even though alcohol cannot give you the comfort you need. But you convince yourself, or you allow yourself to be convicted that this is comfort for you. So, and I'm not actually judging anybody at the moment. I'm just saying.
Yeah, never judge.
You know what I'm saying? It's one of them real things. But thank you very much for that clarity. I got a track I'm going to play for you, yeah? And it's a the beginning, which is a poem by Levi the poet, right?
Yeah.
And I heard this last night, and I want you to listen to this, right? Because this is just off the cuff. Yeah, this.
Definitely.
Guess what's happening? The man Wackers is in the house, and he's chilling, and he's chilling out with the doc in the surgery, and he's got another powerful poem for you. So let it go, bro.
Okay. Before I start, another final special shout out to my Bradford boys, Adnan, Awais, Herrera, and Ibi, and everyone else who is listening.
Scene. I had to put that one
in. Where was I when my elder was attacked? I was busy getting high whilst a terrorist was stabbing him in his back. He used to go to a mosque every day while I was making money in the wrong way. He used to pray his 5 prayers. On Fridays, I wasn't even there. I was busy running the streets, getting into all sorts of beef. He was walking home, alone from night prayer, when this parasite struck. 3 thrusts from a blade is what it took for my elder to meet his creator. God willing, his reward will be greater than this tragedy which struck his family. He has left behind a loving wife, 7 children, and 22 grandkids. Thoughts and prayers are with them. A wife lost her husband, the children lost their father, and the grandchildren lost their grandfather. I hope they found solace in the fact that he is a martyr. Where was I? I was busy chasing the girls and chasing the world. Where was I when my elder was being murdered? I was busy getting high while he lived life with a purpose. Where was I?
Very, 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 very powerful presentation there indeed. Where was I? And obviously, put it into context, and obviously, I'm sure you're relating to issues, incidents that have happened, you know what I mean? Obviously, you know, elders throughout our time have lost their lives through careless act of violence, through undisciplined minds that goes out to just create havoc and damage. And at times, you know, it really shocks us because, you know, it just shows us how kind of like how short we can be in our lifespan. You see what I'm saying? And it brings us back to the reality that we are our brother's keeper.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So once again, Wakash, that's a very, very poignant poem right now, because as soon as you speak right now, I can guarantee you somebody is going to do the foolish thing of taking another man's life.
Yeah.
And he has no reason to.
No reason.
Or because he's forced to do it because a power stronger than him owns him and controls him.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So the poem you just read, right, is so potent for what we're seeing right now in our own little communities here and the wider field. Yeah. You know, and we have to wake up and become accountable and responsible for our brothers' lives and our sisters' lives. So, Wakash, man, I tell you, right, it's an honor. It's been a pleasure having you here.
Thank you, Dr. H.
You know what I mean? And obviously, as you said, you've come a very, very long way. Yeah. And I know by the grace of God, you're going to go even further. And I'm going to sit back in my rocking chair a couple of years now from now, couple of years down the line from now. I don't know what you're laughing for. And I'm going to be wearing them same glasses you made me.
Definitely. God willing.
I'm telling them, my brother. And I'm going to say, that was Wakash, you know. I know him. I Wakash. But with all due respect, my brother, with all due respect, I know you're going to go far. And if you keep up the consistency, if you're passionate in what you do, as I am convicted that you are, and I'm sure my brothers and sisters who have tuned in and have listened to you speak, have listened to how you textualize your poems and your poetry, know you will go far. If you constantly do what you do, you can go very, very far.
Thank you, Dr. H. Thank you, dear listeners, for helping me share this experience with yourself. And, I hope, if you can identify with any of these poems, if you're going through any of these struggles yourself, to hopefully find, solace and, the prayer of God.
Yeah, that is done, and that's spot on. All right, okay, so our time is running out, right? It's 20 minutes to the hours of 10, right? And I promised some brothers, right, who work, I'm not going to tell you when they work, right? Because they threatened me earlier this morning, then threatened me. Ladies and gentlemen, these two brothers threatened me. They threatened me. And I got witness to bear the fact that if I don't play no more reggae, right, they don't play them reggae tune today, I can't go back to work tonight. All right, so I'm going to play another one called He's My Friend by Luciano. I hope you like this one. The vibes is quite nice, actually, this morning. You know what I mean? So, Wackers is here once again, right? And he's going to give you a quick update on his Facebook. And, so you can link him up if you want to link him up and share ideas. And that's how we learn. That's how we empower. That's how we lift up people. Yeah. Go ahead, Wackers.
You can find me. My Facebook page is Words Alone. Also, I'm on YouTube as Words Alone. I've got material on there. This material that I've currently done with Dr. H on his open heart surgery show is progress in the making, so you should be hearing them in the new year. Until then, I'll be studying, and thank you again, Dr. H, for having me on.
No problem, no problem.
Big up Legacy FM, and big up to you as well, dear listeners.
And it's a pleasure having you here. And obviously, as long as legacy is legacy, then I'm sure you're going to be one of the legacy icons in the near future. I believe that. I believe that indeed. Okay, thank you very much, Wakash. And I'm going to continue the cultural vibes. As I said, I was threatened earlier on, right? I was told if I don't play no reggae music, right, I cannot come back to work. What an audacity. But all right, I'm going to humble myself and I'm going to play the tune. The next one I'm going to play, right, is by Tony Rebel, If Jah Be By My Side. What a wicked track this is.